Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the stream, everyone. And today's stream, we are going to be working on two different things in today's stream. And the first things first, we will be designing our room, which is going to be bedroom, of course. And for our bedroom, we have created a lot of props, and the thing that's left is to add colliders to all of them, and also add them or make them morphable, and also design this part of the table, and also add colliders to this. What is this called? The book rack or something similar. Yeah, I think it's called the book rack, and add colliders to this and make these books morphable and make them able to be jump, make them so that they will be able to jump on top of these holders for the book rack, and create a reasonable collider for this book. And yesterday we tried to implement a new feature, which was whenever we kind of get working with our big objects, which is not gonna be having the collider or the character controller as the main object for the collision detection, because to get this kind of shape out of character controller is impossible in Unity. And yesterday I was thinking about uh, implementing a new feature where once you are a big object, then you want to be moving with the help of character controller, but instead you will be moving with the help of the box collider, and which was kind of a good idea in my head. But when I implemented that, we ran into so many errors. And the first thing is our movement was not synchronized, our camera was not proper, and the movement was jittery. And slowly I realized that adding a new movement system is gonna completely break the game. So it's gonna be better for me to stick with this movement system. But if I stick with this exact movement system, then I won't be able to detect collision for this kind of big objects, and it won't be possible. It also won't be possible for creating character controller for this kind of books, which are smaller in height but greater in width. So for these, box collider seems to be a perfect option, but I don't know what to do. So then I came up with another idea, and this idea seems kind of reasonable. We won't be relying on a different kind of movement system, which could break our game. But what we can do is we can test for the movement, we can test if our box collider is hitting something. And if it is hitting something, then we won't let it move. So how does that sound, guys? So if we are colliding with our box collider, then do not move do not move it at all. And I think that seems pretty reasonable. And for that, we will be needing to test it against this, the y-axis of the box collider, I guess, the y-axis values. Because for the x-axis, it's gonna be always be colliding against the floor or any kind of thing that is placed against. So the best thing that could be is, if this works out, then I guess all of my problems are gonna get solved easily, and I won't have to worry about it anymore. So let's head on to Claude and try to implement that feature, and then we will be returning back to our label design, and that is gonna be it for our stream today. So yeah, we have an idea, so we can use our movement. We will be using our character controller based movement, but we will also be keeping box collider. And for the objects that need to be detected, that needs the collision to be detected using the box collider, then we can kind of test the colliders through the script. And if we are not colliding with anything, then the movement is allowed, and if we are colliding with something in our way, then we can restrict our movement. So if we do not let our object move, then it won't move, and that will solve all of our problems if we implement it right. So if we get this correctly, then we might be able to solve the issue with this bed, and also the issue with this television, there's the sofa and everything that we are deciding to make more favorable. And now if I think about it, then I feel like our living room is looking kind of dull as compared to our other. Why do we have mesh collider on this? We are gonna be keeping box collider instead of mesh collider. And now if you guys see, then you might be noticing our living room looks kind of flat and like it has no life in it. But on the other hand, our bedroom is gonna be looking so well designed, and our own room is also looking very good. So everything seems to be working pretty fine. But you guys, welcome to the stream, everyone, and hello, everyone. So this is the game that I've been working on, and we are trying to fix a bug, mostly not a bug, but implement a new feature. So you guys can stick on if you guys wanna get updates regarding the game. So welcome, guys, everyone. And every acceptable we just diagnose long as the movement gets spread with direct was an assignment. So I'm gonna same thing we're gonna move readers other than through the body, we goes in the camera, yes. Redesign no rigid body move, pure code checked collision plus direct transform movement. Yep, same as before, unchanged from the last working design. Morph controller same wiring as before. This part was already correct, only the movers internal changed. And for the player movement, only move needs the routing branch, everything else stays original. Okay, this seems promising. So let's see if we are able to get something valuable out of this. If this works, guys, then we pretty much will be able to morph into anything. We can be this object, we can be this, we can be this bed, we can be this bed as well. This the holder, the books are we're gonna make the books anyways. So we are gonna be able to be this table as well, this bed, anything. We can also be this tractor or this shed. This shed seems like overkill. We won't be transforming into the set, but we can be transforming into the trees. Yep, trees we can, but let's not decide for trees for now. Let's wait and see if we get enough props, then we might not be needing to be transforming into trees. But if our props are lesser than expected, then we will be transforming into trees as well. So let's wait for the cloud to complete its course. And fog, guys, I got. How the fuck did I get limit on my cloud? Sit, guys, we got limit on our cloud, so I don't think we'll be able to implement this feature right now, but wait, maybe I can. I think we got the code, so let's try. Wait a second. After set rule, if I check my movement script, where's my movement? It's right here. Okay, I think we have the complete script. We might be able to implement the feature not the way it was intended to, but let's still try it because Claude crashed mid-session, so we have to figure out ourselves. There's no changes. No, I think there were some changes in our player movement, and the other changes that we need are box collider mover, which is gonna be we will be needing to create one more script. Dude, I think we don't need. I still think the movement that I wanted was still not the same as this one because I wanted the movement to be played from player movement. The only collision checking should have been from here, but we are still applying our movement from here, which is not something that I wanted. But if this works, then we can make changes to the things that we want. So it's not a big deal for now. Before that, we also got our box collider move, and we also need changes in our two of the different scripts, which is going to be prop morphable. So prop morphable we had yesterday's code. So let's go back to our prop morphable. It must be somewhere around here. It's not a, but we also need to make changes in our morph controller. So let's try that first. And this is gonna be for the prop morphable script, and then we'll be done. From a prop morphable, it is right here. So let's see if we have any issues. This should be resolved by now. Yep, it is gone. And still the movement script is also resolved. This and for the box collider move, it is also resolved. So now before testing, let's set this up properly. So the other changes that we need is we have to go to our player prefab. that is the hider, and inside of hider we need, I guess we can put the script inside of our main layer, and the script that we need is box collider mover. And for this we need, yep, collision mask everything. We can also layer if we want to test against only the walls, and no, we can't do that because we have to keep the other objects inside of a morphable layer for them to morph, and we can't be testing against it only against morphable. Now we don't have to do anything here. And okay, box collider mover is here, but how are we gonna apply the box collider? I think it takes box collider from the script itself, so let's try adding the mover, not here but at the point where the box collider is currently. And I think box collider was added itself. Yep, I think it has a required component. Yep, it has a required component, and that's where the box collider was added itself. So we don't need double box colliders, so remove this. But for the prop morphable, I think we need to assign the collider that is going to be changing based on the shape. Yep, we need, okay, we need to apply the box collider mover script. Okay, and the script mover script is going to be using this collider if I am not wrong. So I think that is it. So let's get back to our scene, and we will be testing this against this bed. And for the bed we have to, okay, it has the box use box collider checked on, so it should be working properly if this is correct, or else we will be left with more bugs. And if this does not work, then we will be moving towards the level design, and this part we will do later after we get our tokens back from Claude. So let's build this, and let's see if we managed to make some changes. If we did, and if it worked, then it's gonna be so much time saving for me. I won't have to do this again, and we can fully focus on the level design, and then that's gonna be it. If not, then we might have to find other ways. Still, the thing that I'm not liking about this method is we are trying to move the object using our box collider mover script, using transform.position, which is something that I did not want. I wanted the movement to be with the character controller.move, but for the condition for the object to be moving, I wanted it to have, if it is a box shaped, then I wanted it to have a collision check before it can move. So if we have a check before it can move, then we kind of fix the problem of it moving past the colliders, which was a pretty good idea, I guess. But still, let's see if this works. Then no, but we have to move it based on character controller, guys. We might get synchronization issues with this, but let's figure it out. We'll know if we find any problems. So let's wait for the build to complete, and then we can check for ourselves. Okay, our build is successful. So let me also go back to our scene, main menu, and hit the play button. And for the test, I'm gonna show you guys how it's going on. I'm gonna host here and I'm gonna join here. And this light flicker, I think it was fixed, but we will try fixing this. And the main thing that we wanted to see was from a Hydras POV. Okay, if we transform into bed, see the camera is not following the bed, and still the character or the collider is not. See, we can't rely on this movement, guys. This transform based movement. Okay, it is. I think the movement is working because there's a collider, there's a plant. Okay, no. I think I was wrong. How do you even check this, guys? I don't think this is gonna work for us. And even okay, let me also confirm if this movement is getting synchronized. I think it is getting synchronized, but this is not the way that we wanted. See, the rotation is not getting synchronized, and we don't want it to be this way. No, guys, let's revert back, and we will try to fix this some other way. But I think the way that we are trying to implement this is the correct way. So even though it might take a lot of time for this to be a perfectly working system, we have the solution. Instead of having no solution, we still have a solution in our head, and the only thing that's left is to implement it, which can take a lot of time, or which can be done in less amount of time. But still, time is not an issue, but having the solution is a good thing that we wanted, and we got that solution. And I think that is a pretty good solution if it kind of if we manage to implement it properly. So let's see if our previous method is working properly after we revert it back, which should work. Yeah, but this is the moment, and the issue that I'm talking about is this one. Since our character controller is smaller, we are not able to get a perfect collisions out of the use objects like this bed. And what the fuck? And I still have to add colliders to this object. And why the hell I think there's a collider in the sky, and that is blocking. Yep, so let's get back to work. Before that, I think I have to remove the roof as static. No, I can have it as static, but I don't want it to be blocking or making this we are blocking the view of or making it unrendered, and that's not something that I want. And I feel like the issue was the roof. I don't want it to be occluded static. Yep, I don't want it to be occluded static. And the beam as well. I don't want these to be occluded static as well. I can have them as patching static. Now if we see, no, I think we still need to go to our occlusion cooling and create a new bake. Now if we build, we might see the changes get into effect. What the fuck? How did I maximize that? Yep, that issue is gone now. Yep, guys, that issue is gone. So now let's start designing our levels properly, and I won't be able to add uh, proper colliders to these books because for these books to work properly, we still need our box collider based movement system because this character controller based movement system is not gonna work. The movement is gonna work for this, there's no doubt, but we will still be able to move inside of other objects that we do not want. And for this book, if we check, still guys, if I want the radius amount to be this, then I will have to be at the height of this. So that's exactly the reason why I am trying to go for the box collider based movement for these kind of books. For these books, I think it is pretty fine. We don't have to do anything because the height is pretty reasonable for this. So before that, let's finish up. I think these objects are pretty much done. Yep, everything is set up for them. And now let's try for this. Before that, okay, we have a character controller set up for this as well, but I think we are still facing the same issue with this object. Maybe we can. Where's the box collider? We need a box collider for this as well. Yep, and for the character controller, we need a bigger radius. Yes, this looks fine. I think this looks pretty reasonable for this small box. if there was a way to, if I could custom shape this capsule collider, then it would have been so much easier for me, right guys? I'm gonna do one. No, I have to do double of 0.68. It's gonna be 1.3, I guess. Yep, 3.5. With this height, I think I have to increase the center a bit and then increase the radius. Now, yep, the collateral looks pretty well, but we won't be able to. This collateral is gonna block. Mm, if we try to go on top of this, then this collateral is gonna be blocking us. So we need this and the top part to be not overlapping. So let's go back, and this is the perfect size, I guess. Yeah, for movement, I think this is pretty good, because for the collision we have this box, and our box is still going to be detecting collisions, because we are going to be adding each box collider, each box later, and even though if we do not use the movement, we can still use the collision for the boxes, not for the movement based collision, but for the hit detection collision. So that is going to be useful anyways. Apply all of this. So our this object should also be reflecting the same. Okay, so the table is done, and hanger, I think hanger is easier to implement, because something with a greater height and smaller width or smaller radius is easier to implement than something that has a smaller height but has a huge radius. That is the limitation for the character controller. So I think table was our the last object that we worked on, which is indexed as 97. So we are going to be having this as 98. Before that, let's go and make it a static object, but we do not want it to be having batching static. And then the next thing we have to do is make this change the layer to morphable. Then we have to add the prop morphable script, and let's fix this, and it looks so much better already. The only thing that's left is maybe move it somewhere around here and increase the height. See, it's so easier to get these kind of objects working, but it's so much harder for these kind of objects. Still, we need to increase the radius, maybe something like this. And if we see, we don't want this to be floating, so we have to get this right. I think it is still below the ground, so 0, 4, 2, 2, 3. Yep, this looks pretty well. But if we do this, then it might still appear as floating, because these are a bit higher than the ground level, I guess. Or no, I think they are not. If I have 4, 5, okay, this seems a pretty reasonable height, and the width is also reasonable, and but the main height is kind of off. We want it to reach the top of the hanger, so for that we can increase the height and also increase the radius a bit, so that the hitboxes are pretty evenly spread out. And if we move this up, yep, this looks perfect. And we need 1.7 2. Yeah, okay. Now it looks like a reasonable height, but it is a bit higher as compared to the legs. So let's get it 1.71. Okay, this looks perfect. So now we need to add our outline script. And then we need to add the index as 98. And this is going to be our hanger. And for the mesh, we assign this mesh. And for the material, we assign where's our material book shelf. And we are not going to be having this is big because our character controller based collider is perfectly aligned with the object. So this object is done. So apply everything, and let's duplicate this and place one of these inside our gaming room. Maybe right in front of the cupboard. Yep, this looks pretty good. And this picture is way bigger. Let's make it a bit smaller. This 8 somewhere around here. How was the tournament? Bro, we didn't even organize the tournament yesterday because no one was available and we just played ranked and then left. Dude, how are you, Kagema? What's up? Everything alright? And are you in college right now or you are? And by the way, Kagema, these are the elements that we are adding, and our bedroom is gonna get properly designed. And I don't think you have seen this room as well, so this is gonna be our another room that that was empty in the version that I gave to you. So in next version the room is gonna be filled. So we are done with this. We are done with the smaller objects. Let's place them properly somewhere. How does this look, guys? Now the beds are pretty clean. So now let's add or make these teddy bears as morphable. Before that, guys, let me get some breakfast. I'll be back in 5 minutes. What's up, guys? I'm back, and I'm back with breakfast. So we're still working on the smaller dolls or teddy bears. So let's get started with this one. Make it static, and I guess it was time for 98. No, this was 98, so this has to be 99. Teddy bear, the mess, it's to doll one, and for the material, this, and for the radius, maybe something like this. And if for the height, we can place it a bit below, maybe 6'3", 6'2", I guess. Yep. And the collider looks good, but we are missing the top. So increase the height, maybe a little, and no, we can't increase it so much. We have to get it somewhere around this range, and then we can increase the height for the. Okay, this seems like a perfectly reasonable size and also perfectly reasonable height for the object. Maybe if we want, we can make it a bit centralized, like here. Yep, I think this is perfect. Maybe let's not change the z value. So before that, we can copy the component and paste the component as new, so that we don't have to align the colliders for everything again. And for the other aspects, we will get into that later. But first, so this is going to be 99, and all of the things are pretty much done. We need an outline script. And we also need a box collider. And for the box collider, let's decrease the size. I think this looks like a reasonable collider size. So let's also copy this, and everything is completed for this object. So and before that, let's hit apply all and add the network object, add the collider, and the collider is a bit grounded. Maybe my teddy bear was grounded. And yep, the collider seems to be a perfect size. Yes. So make this as static, but we don't want, we want it to be as occluder static. I don't think we want it to be occluder static. It won't be blocking anything anyway. So, but we don't want it to be a batching static. So this has to be changed. And also we need to change the mesh. Other than that, everything else is correct. So this is also done. And the last thing is name the layer to morphable. So let's get back to our thought object. So the things that we need to change are, we need to change the props mesh. This is the doll 2 and this has to be 101. And we need the outline script 8, use the color as green. Dude, we can also do one thing, and that is for the big objects we can use a different color outline. We have to make it static, but we don't want the batching static. Apply all. And the box color is also pretty neat. So I guess we are done with all the objects that are compatible with the character controller. No, I think the dustbin is still left. For this, let's make it a static, and let's not make it a batching static. Let's change the layer to morphable, add prop morphable script, and this has to be 102. It has to be named as dustbin. And for the mesh, we want to assign the dustbin mesh. For the materials, we want this material, make this network object, and I think this shape is also pretty much compatible with our character controller movement or the character controller's collider. First, let's centralize it a bit, increase the radius, and then increase the height. And this looks like a pretty good collider, in my opinion. Before that, I think the top part is also covered, so we might want to decrease the height by a little bit. So that just so our dustbin does not seem to be floating. Center, move the center a bit up, and now it looks pretty neat. And if we see the top part, this is acceptable. So guys, what else do we need in this? So you guys must know by now what are the scripts that we need for this. We need the outline script to render the outline if it is in the range to get morphed, and then we need a box collider so that players collide with this. And the box collider shape is pretty good. I don't think we need to make any changes to this. So I guess this is done. We will also be testing this. So we will be testing these 5 objects. So let's also add our roof. And also add our beam. And with our light. Let's also add our light. Dude, this light is really bugging me. I want to turn this off. This thing. And for that, let's go to our rendering, lighting, and create a light map. Hmm. So it's time to build now. Dude, this looks so bad. This light looks so bad after it is baked. But we got the baked kind of effect in our table. But our lamp got pretty badly affected by our light. So I think we just change children. Let's rebuild this. Or maybe create light maps again. Because that looked really bad for that lamp. Okay, now it looks good, but this is still floating. I don't think this is a good spot for this. Because the colors are getting kind of blended together. Let's use this object instead. And we have to no, we have to get a little bit of effect on this. No, we need that. But we can decrease the intensity by a little bit. And maybe put the light right here so that so that our lamp does not get totally affected by this light, but the whole environment gets, which is how it is supposed to be. Okay, guys, it's now time for the reveal. Let's see how everything is looking in our scene. Okay, the room is pretty much messed up right now because we do not have. Okay, we forgot to add outline script or maybe a network object to this. Okay, this is working. This is not working. This is working. This is working. This is working. This is working. All of these are working properly. Is the way it was intended to. But before that, let me also get my hunter ready so that I can see all the mobs if they are morphing properly or not. So I can test like this. The dustbin is proper and this is also proper. But I got stuck. Dude, I got stuck. So if I get stuck, then I can just unstuck myself. Teddy bear is also working. Our next teddy bear is also working properly. And this is also working properly. And for the chairs, these are also working properly. And the thing that is not working is this, and maybe it has no I didn't even add a box collider to this. I also wanted to check the small or this small box, and maybe I forgot to add outline script to this small plant. And I don't know why the size of this is so bigger than the normal size. I have to check this out. Yep, so let's fix that. For the first thing is I don't know why the books are so much. Even the scale is one, but their scale is so much lower. How did we decrease the size of this? I don't think we did decrease, but how did we come up with this, and why are the values not one? Everything else is one. Okay, this is also not one. This is one. I think it is a Blender issue. I forgot to apply my scale inside a Blender, so maybe I have to re-import this. Dude, I have to re-import this. Fuck. But before that, let's fix this. And it was immovable. Maybe we were not. The only reason it was not working because we did not have box collider set up. So now this should work. And the same goes to this, but it had box collider, but it is not in the morphable layer. Let's apply everything so that every object gets the changes in real time. Okay, this is also done. This is also done. So now what we are left to do is we have to re-import these books again, which is gonna be pain in the ass. This and this, two of these books are not scaled properly because the default scale is supposed to be at 1. But let's try with our scale. We can also change scale for our character because we have a scale mod scale. So let's try if this works. Let's head back to our build. Still this. Okay, it is. We are getting. Dude, why is this plant so much higher? It's not floating for this object, but it was floating for me. I guess I have to fix that as well. And for the other objects, see my height difference, it is a little bit, so I have to fix that. And yep, the hanger now works pretty well. For the book, okay, now the scaling also works, so I don't have to re-import it from Blender. Now we have to make this lamp is movable as well, and everything else is working correctly. Even the bed works, but the movement is kind of restricted for bed. And now it's time for our these objects, the chairs, tiger stuck. It's time for these chairs, and then there's the whole table that we this whole rack and these books. These books are also pretty well made, so we don't have to do any kind of tweaking into the colliders and stuff because it is gonna be working pretty finely. And we are also left with designing this washroom because that was the old version. We needed to create a new version of this. And this lacks box collider, I guess. Even this lacks outline script and everything else. Even this mouse, why am I not getting the outline for these? Did I forget to put the outlines? It has Morphival, it has Box Collider. Still, okay, I forgot to add the network object. Right, so we changed our way of getting. I can just revert everything. Yo, what the fuck? Why did that not work? That should have worked. Now we also have a cloth hanger here, which needs to be revert. Outline network object. It has everything now, but it has no box collider. Where's the box collider that we made? Dude, why did we not get the box collider? Okay, I haven't hit apply. So now, okay, it we directly got the box collider as well. I feel like the dustbin. This is a great spot for the dustbin. To get this, get it out of here. What the fuck, man? X is 10, 10, 10. Let's see where it is now. Yo, what do you guys think about this room? This is basically like my own room, and the only thing that is missing is a keyboard, and we will add that soon later. Other than that, everything else seems fine, and even the bedroom looks quite good. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's gonna be it for today's stream. It was really fun. So okay, guys, I will see you guys later. Bye.